Hey guys, what's going on? Ooh, it's hot in here. Give me a second. Gotta turn my fan on. It's Friday. I know a very scary story. What's the story? Hey, Anderi. Mike Lombardo. Crazy Chicken and Hope. Just stopping by to show you some love. Hey, Mike. I was taking an internet day off yesterday. Well, right on. How's your week, dude? Blah, but it's Friday and I don't have to work tomorrow, which is awesome. So tonight, I will get very drunk. And I will be like, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm happy about that. Get you some of that. Yeah. Yep. Papa's pleased. Papa's pleased. No. You charge. Your hair is smooth today. Yeah. Just sprayed some oil in it. You know, it's whatevs. Just a little bit. Want to hear a terrifying story idea? Sure, go ahead, bud. Do you work tomorrow, Chappy? No, I do not. I'm gonna get drunk as heck tonight. The hash slinging slasher. By Squidward. Do you want to do the interview tomorrow? If I'm awake. How many fans are blowing? Just one. That guy, not that guy. Yeah. You can see the blade is right there. And the other one's right there. And the other one's right there. But you can't really see that one. The trash singing. The clash digging. Yeah, we'll see. Hope if we can do the interview tomorrow, but I don't know, maybe. I still want to do it, I guess. But this is my first weekend off in like 5-6 weeks. So I'm gonna do some streaming. This is the hash slinging slasher. Yeah. No, I'm not telling any Squidward stories, crazy. My emoji glitched. Your computer's haunted. How does this picture make you feel? Or how does this make you feel? No. No. won't let me post it. I'm going to Glasgow tomorrow. Time to get pished. Nice. What if this was your baby? There was once an ugly barnacle. Crazy chicken, no. You cray. One of them's shutting off and one's turning on. I don't know which one it is because I only catch it for like half a second. But oh, my baby. Who's on my baby? I don't get it. Dark fruits is amazing. Hey, mama. I'm looking for... How about this guy? What you searching? Just scary pictures. Here's a real scary one. I should probably find a creepy story. But I'm probably gonna go out in like an hour or so. We might just hang out for now. I don't know. Subreddit maybe? Not watching any subreddits. I'm on Google Images. Anyways. Watch, don't hug me. I'm scared. Nah, don't hug me is pretty funny. Or Mr. Spoons, that's another one. I mean, there's a few of them. Grab my good hand. Hey, Chappy. I'm homing in on 400. Awesome, bud. I'm homing in on 3. It's kick ass, man. Don't Don't get nightmares. Me? Oh, jeez. Never look up Death Clock. It's an awesome cartoon. Death Clock's awesome. Crazy Chicken, just calm down, bud. Just calm down. You're being cray-cray today. That writer's block, and it's 33 minutes long. They did not have writer's block. They had diarrhea of the fingers. The Dancer's 22 minutes. Just looked like it could go there. Just tried it. Boy on the Steps. Yeah, we can read this one. How do you sleep at night? On my back. Bird's Bees is good for your lips. Don't tell me what to do. I'm crazy today. Yeah, I sleep on my back at night. That's how I sleep. Fairly well. So it's called The Boy on the Steps. That's the wrong color. That's a better color. And that focuses. That's better. That voice, though. Me sits. This was Peter's favorite time of the year, late fall. Almost all the leaves had fallen from the trees, and the crisp, cool temperatures made for almost perfect weather for him. Peter was a mailman in a somewhat affluent suburb of the city, doing one of the few remaining runs that still had a delivery door-to-door. He would start at one end of the neighborhood, at a good work rate, and he would be able to complete his deliveries before 2 in the afternoon. He enjoyed his work and tried to keep a quick pace, both for health benefits and it provided to be able to finish the day early. He never saw many people on his run. Those he came across would make like he wasn't there, a part of the background, if you will. Peter didn't mind much. He would just smile after trying to make some eye contact, then continue on his way. It was early one morning, a little bit into his route, when he came across a little boy sitting on the steps of an older house. He may have delivered there 100 times already, if not more. Rarely did he see anyone around the place. From his vague memory, he recalls he may have come across this boy once or twice. This time seemed different, like he almost was waiting for him. He was no more than 10, a bit pale with sandy blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and almost no expression on his face. He never took his eyes off Peter as he sat there on the steps, waiting for the mailman to make his delivery. Peter thrust a letter into the boy's outstretched hand and gave him a smile. He continued on his way, oblivious to the boy's eyes as they followed him down the street. The next day was similar, only the boy was at a house further up the street. Earlier on his run, Peter went through the motions, putting the envelopes in the boy's hand, and walked towards the next house. Although he knew the boy probably didn't live at that house he found him at, he almost felt compelled to hand him the mail. Every day their little game continued, and every day the boy was waiting at a different house, further and further up the street. Peter would spot the boy from a distance, and sure enough, there would always be a delivery for the house that the boy sat. There were never any words exchanged between them, but a general unease on Peter's part started to become quite evident every time he approached the steps where the lad sat. Peter started Peter started being very anxious about this part of the job. He felt a sense of dread as he would approach the boy, and also be frightened in his presence. Peter could feel that something just wasn't right with the whole situation. The next day started like any other. But what made his day is the way towards the boy's street. He realized the object of angst would almost probably be at the first house on the block due to him moving up the street a few houses each day. He turned the corner and was greeted with a makeshift memorial right in the curve. Propped up on the lamppost were flowers, crosses, little stuffed animals, and a few toys. Warily, Peter looked over to the first house, almost shaking. The memorial was for the boy. It must be for the boy, Peter thought. He looked over to the house, half expecting not to see him. The boy, however, was sitting there, sitting on the steps, waiting for him. The scene seemed even scarier this time, given Peter's relation. The boy was looking down at his own feet this time, a few tears visible on his pale cheeks. The mailman reluctantly approached him with his usual letters and put them in his hand. "Do you know what happened here?" Peter asked the boy. The little boy looked up a bit and nodded, more tears streaming down his cheeks. He pointed to the memorial at the foot of the lamppost, and then upwards to a paper taped about eye level that Peter didn't notice. Even though he couldn't read the words from where they were, he knew what the newspaper clipping said. "That's about you, isn't it?" Peter asked, his voice almost breaking. He couldn't believe he was speaking to a child who had died tragically at the spot. "No," the boy answered, almost in a whisper. "It's about both of us." Peter put his head in his hands and sobbed uncontrollably. The memories of the accident came flooding back. The car careening out of control, him trying to push the boy out of the way, the hit and run that disastrously took both their lives. "What's your name?" Peter asked, as he tried to compose himself with his new truth. "Michael," said the boy, in a bit stronger voice than before. "Well, Michael, I think I can finish early today," Peter told him. He put his mailbag down on the manicured lawn and started walking down the street, leaving the makeshift memorial on the corner behind him. Michael got up off the steps and followed. Hope, watch your language. What happens after? That was obviously a joke, Hope. The story is called What Happens After. You never escape, not really. It's always going to be there. sometimes hidden away in the back of your mind in the form of a nightmarish memory, where it sits and stares you in the face, daring you to try and forget. Do I consider myself lucky? Maybe. I don't know anymore. I did at the point, I suppose. I encountered something terrible, inhuman, a real whatever it was. It tried to hurt me. It hurt my friends, my family, all to get at me. I don't want to talk about it. Even thinking about it causes my hands to shake. God, I'm sweating. The scars on my arms are itching at the memories flooding back. But it wasn't what I wanted to talk about. More rather, I want to talk about after. The creature killed people, and it almost killed me, but I beat it. I stopped it. Sometimes, on the darkest of days, I try to think of myself as a hero. By that, stopping it, I saved countless future victims, or that I avenged my fallen family. But I know it was more than just self-defense, nothing more. A man isn't a hero for shooting a charging bear. He's just lucky the odds were in his favor. I don't consider myself a hero, or lucky either, now. I hear so many stories of people surviving against odd creatures, monsters and demons, but they don't delve into what happens after. Maybe a few lines, but never the details. You don't hear about the countless sleepless nights, staring out your dark window, imagining a beast pressing its head against the window, staring and smiling. You don't hear how they jump at the slightest creak in the house, wondering if another of those brethren has come to sink those stinking claws into for your revenge. They don't talk about how their home is gone, lost. Not to those creatures, but to the memories. I'm so itchy right now. You can wash away the blood from the room, but not from your minds. I can still see my little brother's room so much. That's what happens after. The worst thing about the dark world that lies just out of sight of your own is knowing that it's there. Knowing that the dark should be feared. That every creak or rustle can have something terrible behind it. I know, and worse, I can see them. Once you've been touched, it's like you're attuned to them now. You notice the small signs that give them away. I've seen a young boy play with the little girl who almost managed to hide the small, bloody hole in the back of her head with her long brown hair. I've seen a jogger running through the park, unaware of how the trees above her rustle along at just the right intervals to constantly remain right above her. She looked just like my friend Connie, too. God, I miss her. I've almost thrown up so many times at the news articles outlining mysterious suicides where the victims showed no signs of depression. I heard a noise. It was weird. I've almost thrown up many times to news articles outlining the mysterious suicide where the victim showed no signs of depression but always seemed to occur in the darkest hours of the night. Sometimes I wonder if I should get involved, warn the jogger or the boy, the creature they've attracted, to try to help them escape the fate that no person should be forced through. But the truth is, I'm terrified. If I help, I know I'll attract them back to me. I've managed to keep my head down long enough after the creature to avoid the any others. However, constantly sitting back and watching them target those poor people has weighed on me. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. Sometimes, on the blackest nights, when all the lights seem to be snuffed out, and the creaking grows in my house to where I'm sure they found me, I pull out the small pistol I bought. It gives me comfort. It reminds me those things are vulnerable, at least. Claws, nasty face, or inhuman body doesn't make you bulletproof. Now that's a different comfort I feel as I place the cold barrel into my mouth. The metallic taste on my tongue and the surprisingly heavy weight in my hands seems to call to me, offer a way out. It gives me a chance to be free from this dark knowledge. I can never do it though. It's not because I have some great deed left to do, even because I really want to live on. It's because death horrifies me. It chills me to my core. Every time I think about it, my mind turns to them. I get the feeling that's what they're waiting for death to make me as countless others. Then would join them in their worlds. Nothing would stand in their way as they claimed me like one of they tried to do long time ago. I just know deep down that the only thing that separates my world from theirs is this fragile, delicate body I live in. So there's really no escape, no matter how long you run, or hide, or forget. You can never escape the inevitable. One day, they'll have me, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. No, I actually heard what sounded like a snake rattling. It was weird, okay? Yeah, you got a friend over, but leaving stream, on. I like that story. What? It was real light sound. It wasn't like a it was like it's really quiet. I don't know what it was. Did y'all like that story? I kill one person a year. That's my job. This is the story. So you think your husband is trying to kill you? Yes, he is. I know it. I know he took the life insurance policies out on me. Well, we did it together actually. But how does that prove that he's going to kill you? He is. Just trust me. You'll be paid very well. Listen, I don't trust people who are trying to kill someone else. I have to prove to me that one, you have proof that he's trying to kill you, and two, prove that his life insurance policy is real as well. Okay. There are the documents for the insurance company. And I found a loaded gun that he purchased recently in our bedside table. Here's the picture. That still doesn't prove he's trying to kill you. Well then, can you do some surveillance on him or something? She stood up, slamming the desk. Miss Goodrim, we are here in a place of business. If you don't like my services, you can ask any other of the hunters in this place. But if you're going to be rude to me, then consider yourself refused. She sat down, looking down, showing some signs of remorse. I apologize. I just want him dead before me. Well, do you have the money? Yes, 20% of the life insurance policy, right? In cash. She reached into her purse and pulled out 10 stacks of $10,000. I counted them, totaling $100,000. Alright. Do you have any other proof he's trying to kill you? She pulls out her phone and begins going through the text messages to her husband. Read this. This is proof. Honey, do you want to go to dinner tonight? Maybe La Bella restaurant on 5th, maybe around 7:30? How is this proof? This just shows a man offering to take his wife out for dinner. Do you not understand? He's trying to lure me to the restaurant. Yeah, a public restaurant with many people around. He wouldn't try to kill you if he doesn't want to go to jail. I looked at her, questioning my own stupidity, asking myself if I could be more stupid than she was. But I wasn't here to judge, I guess. He doesn't care. He gets cash in my life insurance policy. Do you not understand? Look, Miss Goodrim, I'm just here to do a job. Whether you can prove to me that this case is legit, one, it is up to you. Whether I decide to take the job is up to me. Listen, you mongrel, I put $100,000 on the table for you to kill my husband. I expect him to be dead by morning. Alright, well, I'm just going to reach over here, grab my big red denied stamp, and press it down on the ink. I looked up at her. She was fidgeting. She wanted to play chicken, trying to put her balls on the table. I think she thought that $100,000 sitting on my desk in front of me, I would just go ahead and say yes. But it doesn't work that way. I only kill one person a year and expect to get the highest payout. I'm going to life. I'm going to lift my stamp off the ink. Lift, set the F. I'm gonna lift my stamp off the ink and move it close. Alright, wait. Miss Goodrim looked at me with anger, as if she lost a bet worth $100,000. Just do the job, okay? You can take my phone. Take my bag. Here, you can have my 7-carat diamond tennis bracelet as a tip, okay? Well, it still doesn't make sure that this sound case to take on. I stand up from my chair. I step out from the room, closing the door behind me. Share, send it to the client, please. After about 5 minutes, ding, Andrew Goodrim, 00002.png. I step back in the room and look at Miss Goodrim. Here, take this. What is this? It's so I can begin the assignment. Take it if you want to proceed. Without a second thought, she takes the pill, puts it in her mouth, takes the water bottle and gushes it with water before swallowing it. Okay, now what? Well, let me show you something. I pull out my phone and show her a picture that her husband just sent me. On the left, it showed her life insurance policy paid $1 million, and I would get a 25% cut. On the right was a handwritten note saying that she was deathly allergic to peanuts. Below was a transcript of the conversation that his wife and I were having, prepared by my secretary, which proved that she was trying to kill him. This is proof that someone is trying to kill him. This is the proof I needed. She put her hands to her throat, grasping it tightly. She was choking. What was... You give me... It was a peanut in a dissolvable capsule. EpiPen in purse. Oh, the purse you gave to me earlier? I'm sorry. But this is just business. Your life insurance policy paid more. She collapsed to the ground, lifeless in front of me. I sit down and began to count the payment. 1, 2, 10, 100,000 plus this bracelet. It looks nice on me. Ma'am, Andrew Goodman has wired the money. The total was $250,000. Thank you, Cheryl. Here's a tip. Clean up after, will you? I'll throw one stack at her. I'll see you next year. Hey, Stitched. Llama Lloyd, what up? We got 9 people up in here. Dang. Chappy, when are you going to... Are you going to a game convention? I don't know if I can afford to, but I'd like to. You watch your manly feet. Oh, tomorrow's 420. The Fallen Angels. I'm writing this because I'm interested in these strange creatures. I want to know more about their appearance, origins, and behavior. This is what I've gathered so far. Little is known about the mysterious creature that seems to haunt dark, abandoned areas of the world. Also, known as the false prophets, the Demino Pastilla in Mexico, account of these creatures following people have existed as far back as 1970. Although apparent sightings have cropped up all over the world, the description has been strangely consistent. A small humanoid creature with a large head and skull-like face. They are referred to as angels primarily due to their black wings, not apparently adorned on their back, although it is not known if they can fly or not. Although there are very few accounts of human interaction, we can conclude that these things are probably hostile and extremely dangerous. The following account was given in 2001 by a patient who cannot be named for legal reasons, but it is known to be the boy who survived the encounter with one of the creatures. The only pictures that exist of what he referred to as the fallen angels are drawings he did after the incident. Oh, there's pictures. The patient has since committed suicide following a recurrence of bad dreams that plagued him as a young man. That was funny, Horn Dog. recounts the event, which occurred in England in 1971. When the patient was a teenager, he and his friends decided to investigate an abandoned bunker in the woods outside their village. The site has been left derelict for over 10 years, and the hinges on the door had rusted away, allowing the teenagers to enter. The Fest corridor led to rooms with beds for employees and meeting rooms. Most of the paperwork had been ruined by water damage from leaking pipes above, but the two boys could make out an FBI logo on the front of some of the files. This is what it looks like. That's crappy. Let's do a bigger visual aid. Not much bigger. I'm just gonna. That's it right there. Some of the files contained information referring to a top-secret biological weapon they were testing in the bunker. These included experiments involving unwary patients being given LSD and locked away to see the effects. There were also references to Project MK Ultra, which has since been uncovered by the government. It seems to suggest that there was a British sector of MK Ultra that seemed to have gone undiscovered until these boys happened upon it. Upon it. The teenagers decided to continue down the corridor, and then down some spiral stairs to another long corridor. After some time walking, they came to an area which looked supposedly like a prison. Then they saw why the bunker had been abandoned. Claw marks could be seen on the walls and ceiling, and some of the cell doors had been torn open by something. As the two boys walked along the corridor, they saw graffiti on the walls. They were in different languages, but had since been translated to pleas for help. Whatever was down there had been sending the scientists mad before it broke out. The boys turned a corner to find a large control room. They entered and found it looking into a big room with no form of lighting inside. The room has since been flooded, and glass lay all over the room, indicating that whatever was kept there had been broken out. The patient's friend opened the file which sat on the table. It explained that Subject 16, which had appeared during an experiment which involved a participant being locked into a room with loud sonic resonator. As the screams of the patient got louder, the sound being played in the room also got louder. The file stated that all of a sudden the room went silent. The scientist opened the door and the patient was no longer there. They were about to leave when they heard a strange screeching noise, and one of the scientists got dragged backwards by an unseen entity. The door was locked, but the scientist's screams could be heard for hours after. A book lay on the table. It was a journal by a man named John Harrington, who was the head researcher of Subject 16. Here are some excerpts. February 11th, 1960. Observation of Subject 16 remains the same. We have to keep the lights off, or else they cannot be seen. Even night vision causes them to become blurry. They do not seem to give off any obvious heat signal. They rarely touch the floor and remain still, holding on to the wall with their heads turned facing us. I wish they would stop looking at us. February 23rd, 1960. We had to lock Yuri away today. The poor man had been shouting for days about demons and hell. It got too far when he started writing things on the walls. Everyone is scared here, so having him locked away is for the best. Still no word from America. Subject 16 still remains the same. Excuse me. March 4th, 1960. I, like most of us, have been suffering from bad dreams. They have all been similar. I'm in a dark corridor, running away from something. I can hear it behind me, clawing its way towards me. I wake up before it gets me. I talk to the guys. They all had similar dreams. Subject 16 remains as ever. The same. We hardly go in there anymore. Something is just wrong about them, like they're not from this world. March 8th. These aren't angels. They're the devil. Incoherent. Stop laughing at me. This is all our fault. All our fault. One just moved. This was the end of the diary. The boys, clearly frightened by now, decided to leave. However, now they felt like they were being watched by something. As they walked out, the lights began to flicker, and they started running. They suddenly heard a horrible screeching noise, but couldn't see anything behind them. As they got to the entrance, the lights went out. One boy got grabbed and pulled back. The other turned around and looked into the darkness. What he saw dragging away his friend, he would remember forever. The picture in this article had been taken by the police when searching for the missing boy, who has never been found. In addition, sightings of the so-called fallen angel have cropped up in parts of America. Purportedly, where human experiments have also been performed. This drawing is done by a hunter who saw back. Oh, wait, let me give you this. The drawing is done by a hunter who saw the back of one of the forest. Back of one in the forest, nearly an abandoned lodge. Since then, the sightings have been reported as far as Germany and Mexico, but the only eyewitness accounts of the drawing have given us evidence. Whatever the angels are, they cannot be seen under any form of light. They seem to dwell in places that have been abandoned or derelict. If anyone has any information regarding the fallen angels, it would be the most valuable in uncovering the truth. Do you have windowless fan, Chappy? No pedophilia jokes, David. I'll mute you. I do not have a windowless fan, you weirdo. I don't look like a pedo. You look like a pedo. Besides the windowless, besides the windshield, of course. I mean, duh. How would you drive? Pedophilia is not funny, David. They're effing kids, man. Sorry. I had to. So it's 8:35. My buddy hasn't messaged me back. I'm going to call him. Give me a second. Call.
You have reached the...
just jealous of my stash. Hello, I'm looking for Scott Marker. I have some questions for him to answer. Please get back to me as soon as possible, or dire consequences will befall you. Thank you and have a nice day. Man call. You better turn that into a Sam Elliott stash, so you're good and not stereotyped. I'm just gonna let it keep going, man. And it's not a pencil thin mustache. It's substantial. My poor soundboard and microphones that I never play with. A little tweaker. Who am I kidding? Dave is one of my little tweakers too. Harbird's a son of a beast. This one's called The Voice. There's 9 people in here, David. Guess nobody likes you, bud. Dean Vesey. I don't know if I said your name right. I apologize. I'm all alone out here. Fap till the cows come home. Or, I mean, whatever. This is the story. You got me. People love me. They really love me. The snow rests pale in the naked metal of the stacks, or the shacks around me. The pastel paint stripped away in ugly patches. The rusted iron underneath leers, orangish red at my intrusion. Like 1,000 fiery eyes set on the suffocating whiteness that is all around me. There is no one here in this desert-like village, this island in an endless sea of ice and capricious cold. There is nothing else for miles, it seems. I am all alone here. All I can do is wait for the ceaseless wind to dismantle me, to chip away at me until the red rust underneath my paint facade is all exposed and I become as silent as the town around me. I press myself up against the side of the shack to get out of the wind, whose shrieks and murmurs fade ever so slightly as I hide. I slowly ease myself into the porcelain white ground. I draw my knees to my chest to protect my waning heat in my core from the lashes of the cold. Daniel. No louder than a whisper. Could have told me that. Daniel. With an exclamation point. You're supposed to be whatever, man. Whatever. You're getting downrated. No louder than a whisper. I'm sure I've imagined it. My name called across the village sounded as if it was shouted. But the wind rushing through the squat houses almost stole it away before it reached me. I stumbled to my feet, heaving my body upwards and cranking my head towards the voice. I take a few steps towards the ice and snow, forces deliberate and careful steps, taunting me. Who has no energy for such things? I walk onward, and even as I approach, I feel the wind rushing by my face, taking with bits of warmth, chips of paint. I reach the farthest flung house. There's no one here. Everything is silent and still besides my shuddering of the shoulders and the cold fits, the cold lifts, the warm from them in sheets. The wind strips the paint from everything. I am raw, red, rusty. The orangish red eyes glow wider, amazed that I persist in moving amongst them. Daniel. Again the voice calls, no louder than before. I might have missed it in the din of shrieks and murmurs. This time, though, the voice comes from behind me, on the other side of the village, back where I was. My eyes water as the wind tries to pry them out. I begin trudging again towards the voice. Perhaps we pass each other. Perhaps whoever's out there is pursuing me, just as I pursue them. And the wind pursues us both. I march in loose, fumbling steps towards the voice, back through the town, back through all the red eyes. I fall once or twice. It feels so good to rest that I might just fall asleep here. I rise each time. However, the voice draws me onward. I reach the other end of the village, looking out into the stormy sea of ice. On all sides of this little island of paint and bleary red eyes, there is no one here but me. Daniel! The voice calls, once again with muffled insistence, no closer than ever. Somehow now, from the opposite side of the decrepit shacks, it beckons me. I turn to it, but I can't face those eyes again, and I'm so very cold. It feels so good to rest. Orangish. This guy had a website. Don't know what happened to it. Well, I'm gonna get naked. I'm gonna go drinking. Don't judge me. I'm not gonna drink naked. I'm gonna put clothes on. Who's better, the Beatles versus the Rolling Stones? Hey, CC Games. What's happening, Kevin? Hair smells nice. Stand by. Sit with these nice people, Keith. band shirts went. So uncanny. Forgot to refresh. You're gonna stream from the bar. They will have poopy Wi-Fi. I'll try again. I really want to find my band shirts. Give me a second, guys. Changed it. Dang, my hair's getting long. Ah, my eyes, my friend is gone. How my online friends doing? Lol. Hey, Seansa. See you, Wanna. I guess my buddy doesn't want to go out, so I'm gonna call an Uber. Uber. Where's my belt at? I'm really being a bad host right now. Let me put on some music. Nope. No, I like this one. I'll try. Stand by.
Well, the arms are real. These happenings at night. I tried to kill myself, but fortune shows another time. Somewhere between the living and the dead, I'm forced to witness your end. If you knew that I wanted to die, why would you try to save me? If it was you, I'd give you my life. But why would you try to save me? There can be no
Hey, Pip. Earballs? What do you mean earballs? You guys are crazy. Socky socks. Love me some fresh socks. smell neutral. Gym Bros gathered in their masses. Just kidding. That music was loud AF. Black Socketh? Nope. Sabbath. Cool socks. I know. I only wear black socks. With my black shoes and my black soul. No, I'm not going to confirm until I have my belts. So all I need is some smart butt to go. That was my undies. Sitting here, taking screenshots of all of a sudden, boom, goes my hearing. You taking screenshots of me? My hair looks like a lion's mane or something. I don't know what one came from. In game? No. Oh, Pip, you've been here a while just listening? Dang, Chappy. Killing beautiful Pip's ears. How dare you? I was kind of being quiet, wasn't I? And then music. I'm sorry. Well, let's see how far. Oh no, I gotta find my belts. Where's my belt? I totally heard that noise. Where's my belt? Where's my belt? Where's my belt? It's not in here. That's all clothes. I haven't worn it in a couple weeks, so maybe it's like more than a couple weeks. Maybe it's gone missing. I may go beltless today. Derp. Where's my belt? How's everybody doing? What's up, guys? High five, bro. I'm gonna smack Wade. Wait, what? Smoke weed? Oh no, I just get some get some CBD. You can vape that. Shiz, Bibniz. I had to go tinkle. That's fine. I'm looking for my belt. I think it's in that. In fact, I think it's rather close. I have a feeling for these things. Nope, but the fancy shoes are over there. Let me check outside of my room real quick. I'll be right back. Tripped over work food. I have a feeling my belt is in my car. It is at work. Well, I can't get none. Well, guys, we're gonna call the Oobs. How long we got? Connecting to 8 nearby. Oh, 2 minutes away. Well, guys, this is it. I will try to stream again. Maybe I'll record and then post it. I do love you all. Oh. Well, guys, be awesome. Be creepy. Don't forget your bird space. You guys be good. What? Alright, guys. Love you all. Oh, Chaplin, please take us with you. Recording might work better since your connection always dies. Yeah, probably it will. Well, you all have a good night. I love you all. You people are the awesome. All freaking 9 of you. I think it's 9. Yeah, all 9 of you. I'll post some videos later from my phone. Some funny stuff and maybe some me singing. Who knows? I gotta see when my shirt's gonna get delivered. I think next week or something. But alright, guys. Y'all have a good night. I love you. Oh, and I'll stream when I get home, when I'm drunk. Because, fun stuff. Alright. Bye.